Welcome to Epsilon Sports. Before we get started, make sure you leave a like and hit that subscribe button. But I just wanted to spend a few minutes and talk about one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, which is the Utah Jazz. They're currently the ninth seed in the Western Conference, sitting at 22-20 on a 6-game winning streak, and have won 9 of their last 10 games. Now in the offseason, I had high hopes for this team. Even though they don't have the craziest roster, this is kind of where I project them to be at, like the 10th or 9th seed. And it's halfway through the season, so they can either jump up or fall. I'll be happy to see them jump up because they have some solid players on this team. They started off the season through the first 32 games. They were 13-19 and only averaging 113.3 points per game. Then over these last 10, that really took a stride, averaging 128 points per game over their last 10 games, which they went 9-1 in, as I stated, and won 6 in a row. Their only loss in their last 10, it came against the Boston Celtics. There's no shame in that. The Celtics clearly have more talent than the Jazz, and the Celtics did blow them out. But the wins that the Utah Jazz had came against was the Miami Heat, the Dallas Mavericks, the Detroit Pistons, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Denver Nuggets, the Toronto Raptors, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Indiana Pacers. And some of these teams, like the Lakers, may have been missing LeBron, but as a Lakers fan, we could have easily won that game. But the Utah Jazz just simply outplayed us in that game. So you see that they're taking care of teams like the Detroit or the Toronto Raptors, who aren't as great as the other teams. So they're taking care of the teams that they need to, and they're beating teams that are also better than them. They're currently ahead of the Lakers in the standings, and part of that is because they were able to get that win over them. They're 2 games back from the 6th seed, and part of that is because they were able to get a win over a team like the Mavericks. They're able to beat a top contending team like the Nuggets. So these last 10 games, they'll just really gel together. They've been playing great. Lauri Markkanen, he's having another all-star caliber season. He's averaging 24 points per game, 8.8 rebounds, and almost 2 assists. He's been the Jazz best player. He has missed 10 games out of the 42 the Utah Jazz played, but when he's played, he's been amazing. He's shooting almost 40% from 3 and 50% from the field, along with almost 88 from the free throw line. He's been the leader of this Jazz team. Another guy I wanted to talk about is Colin Sexton, who's the only Jazz player to play all 42 games this season. He's averaging 16.9 points, 3.9 assists, 2.6 rebounds. He's shooting 49% from the field, 37% from 3, and nearly 90 from the free throw line. Colin Sexton has really stepped up big this season. He's been playing great. He's been able to play every game, and the best ability is availability, and he's been available. He's been contributing to this team and helping them win. Then they also got other key players such as Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, and Taylor Horton-Tucker, who all played solid this season. There's some other guys that I didn't name that have played minutes and have had some good games to help them in this stretch, to help them throughout the season to get to where they're at. Because they were kind of struggling in these last 10 games, they really picked it up. Then two more guys that I didn't mention at first. But first, Keyonte George. He's played 36 games, started in 16 of them, and he's playing 25 minutes per game. He struggled a bit to start the season, but he's found his footing. He's averaging 11 points and nearly 5 assists, along with almost 3 rebounds. He's a really solid player, and he can be really solid in this league. As I said, he struggled to start off, but he's found his footing over the recent games, and I expect him to continue to improve his game because his percentages are still down, but that should rise as the time comes. And another guy, Walker Kessler, he's one of the best defenders in the league to me, especially when it comes to rim protection. He's averaging 2.6 blocks. That's almost 3. And just because you're leading, just because he's also averaging 7.6 rebounds, which rebounding is part of defense because it means that you're closing out possessions. And I really like his defense. I'm high on Walker Kessler. He's one of the best defenders in the league. If he's not blocking the shot, he's affecting it. And that's what is valuable for this team. Also, offensively, you don't expect too much from him. He's giving you 8.6 points and shooting 65% from the field. So that's real. He's shooting 68% from twos. He took a few 3-pointers on the season, which brings his field goal percentage down a bit because he's shooting 25%. But he hasn't taken that many because it doesn't largely bring his free throw shooting down. But I just wanted to spend a few minutes and talk about the Utah Jazz because they're one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, and nobody's really talking about them. If they do make the playoffs, man, I don't expect them to do too much, but they do have quality wins over good teams. And they're not, like I said, they're not only beating the top teams, they're also beating teams that are lower than them. Because you see some teams like that, they'll win against a really good team, lose to a bad team, but the Jazz, they're able to beat both. So that's pretty much it for this. And the Jazz' most recent game against the Warriors was postponed due to the Warriors' assistant head coach dying of a heart attack. So I just want to send my prayers and condolences to him, his team, anyone close to him, and his family. That's such an unfortunate situation. That was absolutely sad news to hear. So I like the fact that the NBA decided to postpone the Warriors and Jazz game. That was really respectful of them, but that's such a sad moment. But anyways, that is it for this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe.